Hola, hola, bienvenidos a los apuntes de CarGarZar Verbs. By the end of the day, you will be able to use spelling changes on CarGarZar Verbs in the preterite. So, sorry, there's something on my screen. Remember that the preterite is used to communicate completed actions in the past. These are things that you did. I'm snapping right now. Like, oh yeah, I walked to the store. I paid for my purchase. I opened the bag and then I realized I forgot my phone at the store. You know, normal things that normal people do. So when we look at our AR endings, they're basically like your ED endings, you know? Opened, walked, left, or leaved, left, you know, whatever. So we have yo with the e, tú with aste, el o, nosotros amos, vosotros hasteis, y ellos haron. So if I wanted to say I walked, for example, yo caminé, you walked, caminaste, he walked, caminó, we walked, caminamos, ya walked, caminasteis, and they walked, caminaron. That's awesome. Let's put some into practice. So we're going to do the cheater method of taking our endings and just putting them at the end of our little charts here. So I'm going to scoot it over a little bit. Okay, so now that we've got our endings, let's put the main part of our verb in place. So we have the S, A, C, like that. Okay, excellent. So we're going to copy those all over into our chart. Remembering that sacar means to take out. We learned this in the context of sacar la basura, like to take out the trash. I tell you often, saquen sus iPads, take your iPads out, that kind of thing. So sacar is to take out of something. Okay, so there you have it. Look at those amazing, amazing verbs. So good. Oh, but you guys, I forgot to copy all of the endings into all of the charts. So I'm going to do that right now. It's kind of... Okay, great. And then we have pagar. Remember, pagar means to pay. So we're going to take our normal root again, that pag, and that goes with our e, aste, o, amos, astes, aron. Pagaron, they paid. And then finally, rezar is not to pay, but rather to pray. That's fun. I didn't even do that on purpose. I was just looking for a short verb. So anyway, so you have rezaste, rezó, rezamos, rezastes, y rezaron. Ta-da! Now that's great. I forgot to read over all of my charts. I'm in fact gonna just take these and make them all black. You'll see why in just a little bit. But we look at our chart. We have sacar, and this says say. That's weird. Let's come back to that. Sacaste, sacó, sacamos, sacaste, sacaron. Now they all have the k sound. Sa in sacar, right? They all have sacaste, sacó, sacamos, sacaste, sacaron. Except here in our yo form, we want this to have that k sound here. So we're going to replace this. I'm actually going to change up my color scheme real quick. That doesn't make the k sound anymore. I want it to make the k sound. So I'm going to find a value that will give me a k sound, and that's Q, U. Because remember, when we have C followed by an E, that makes it a se sound. So now we have sake. That's much better. Sake. There we go. Okay, so that's a weird spelling change. We're going to need to keep that guy in mind. Let's add it to this helpful chart. Sake here. But notice this only happened in the yo form. So that's like yo sake. Let's look at pagar. Oh no, we have the same thing happening. Here in pagar, we've got pagué from pagar, and then pagaste, pagó, pagamos, pagastes, pagaron. We lost the g sound here. And the way to make the g sound is we trade this guy for a GU. This is pagué, which is what we want it to sound like, but that's how we need to spell it to get that sound. So we have pagué to get that good G sound back from pagar. So we need to keep that G sound in there. Pagar, pagué. And then finally, rezar. This changes. I don't even straight up. I can't even explain why. I don't know why it changes. But it does. So we need to do res. And here we don't do like ZUE or anything. It just changes to a C. So we get rese. And that's all it is. So you have rese, rezaste, rezó, rezamos, rezaste, rezaron. So in our GAR, whenever we have a GAR verb, in the preterite, we need to have the yo do a GUE with an accent. And then whenever we have a ZAR verb in the preterite, we need to have just the your form changed to a CE with an accent. So here we have 3 funky spelling changes that are happening. In sacar, we need to say saqué with a QU. Pagar, we need to have pagué with a GU. And rezar, we need to have rese with a C. So why do we do this? Well, that's because we want to keep the sound the same. We want to keep the sound consistent. Otherwise, we would have had sacé, sacaste, sacó, and that's not fun. And in pagar, we would have had pagé, pagaste, pagó, and that, no, we need to keep that hard vowel, not hard vowel. We need to keep those hard C sounds, hard G sounds in there. We want to keep the consonants the same. So memorize this. And note that it's yo form only. Yo form only with these spelling changes. Right? Now we'll do some practice. So go ahead and open your Avancemos book to page 336 and read those extra explanations. And then you'll do the activities on the following page. So pause the video, do this reading, and check back. Now that you've done that reading, let's do activity 12. In Avancemos, in Actividad 12, you'll see Isabel's agenda is on there, and she's got all these activities at what times she does them. And you need to figure out, hey, what did she do last week at what time? We'll do the first one as an example. You look at her schedule, and you see it. A la una el sábado, Saturday at 1 o'clock, she says, almorzar con Luz Maria, right? So now you want to say, I had lunch with Luz Maria at 1 on Saturday. So that gives you yo almorcé. Oh, I need to watch this. There it is. Yo almorcé con Luz Maria a la una el sábado. Okay, so now look at number 2. It says, llegar a la fiesta a las 8 el viernes. How do you say, I arrived? Yo llegué. Remember to put that GUE in parentheses. Not parentheses, in your verb. Okay. Número 3. ¿Qué hiciste a las 7 el martes? Yo comencé un libro nuevo a las 7 el martes. ¿Qué hiciste el martes a las 3:30? Yo pagué las entradas a las 3:30. I paid for the tickets. So I had lunch with Luz Maria. I arrived at the party. I started a new book. And I paid for the tickets. Número 5. ¿Qué hiciste a las 3 el miércoles? Yo toqué la guitarra con Roberto a las 3 el miércoles. Número 6. ¿Qué hiciste a las 5 el miércoles? Yo busqué un vestido nuevo a las 5 el miércoles. ¿Y qué hiciste a las 3 el domingo? Yo jugué al béisbol a las 3 el domingo. Y finalmente, ¿qué hiciste a las 9 el viernes? Yo saqué la basura a las 9 el viernes. So look, and notice these are all yo forms of car, gar, and zar verbs. We're changing their endings. Now, let's go to actividad 13. In the book it says, listen to Mario as he asks the questions. I'm just going to ask you the questions. Write your responses in complete sentences. For example, if I ask you, ¿pagaste el almuerzo? ¿Pagaste el almuerzo? You could say, sí, yo pagué el almuerzo. Did you pay for lunch? Yes, I paid. Check on that CarGarZar ending. I paid for lunch. Now, maybe you said no. So this part could change. So maybe you say, oh, no, yo no pagué el almuerzo. And that's okay. That's an acceptable response. So I'm going to show you what you need. And I'm going to show you what is optional. Okay. Get your listening ears on, because here we go. Okay, nice. Número 1. ¿A qué hora llegaste a la escuela ayer? ¿A qué hora llegaste a la escuela ayer? So an acceptable response to this, you'll want to start with llegué, because llegar is to arrive. So I said, yo llegué a la escuela a las 7:30. I arrived at school at 7:30. This can totally change. Maybe you don't arrive at 7:30, but the rest of your answers should follow the same structure. There's an optional yo. You could say yo llegué a la escuela. However, llegué will only ever mean I arrived. So you by no means need to specify yo anymore. Llegué a la escuela a las 7:30. Número 2. ¿Sacaste buenas o malas notas? ¿Sacaste buenas o malas notas? A good response here would be to say, yo saqué buenas notas. I earned good grades, because of course you did. If for some reason you didn't and you wanted to change this to malas, I earned bad grades, sad day, but you can't, that's fine. Saqué malas notas, I earned poor grades. Okay. Remember to pause the video after I say the question and write out your response. Número 3. ¿A qué hora almorzaste? ¿A qué hora almorzaste? Yo almorcé a las 11:30. So I had lunch at 11:30, las 11:30. That could probably change depending on the day. Make sure you have almorcé, though. Número 4. ¿Comenzaste la tarea? ¿Comenzaste la tarea? Bueno, sí, yo comencé la tarea durante la clase. If you did not start your homework, you could trade this for a no. You would want to say, no, yo no comencé la tarea. And then you would get rid of durante. But that's up to you. Número 5. ¿Buscaste ropa nueva? ¿Buscaste ropa nueva? Y yo sí. Yo busqué ropa nueva. I did look for new clothes for Thanksgiving. I looked for a new Thanksgiving outfit last weekend, so that's fun. However, if you didn't, you could trade your sí for no. You say, no, yo no busqué ropa nueva. If you wanted to change your ropa nueva, you say specifically what you looked for. You could say, sí, yo busqué Yo busqué pantalones negros. You looked for some black pants. If you want to get specific, that's great. Go for it. Y finalmente, ¿a qué jugaste? ¿A qué jugaste? Bueno, yo jugué al hockey. That's not true, but I thought it would be fun to throw it in there. I played hockey. Did you play a sport? If you did, remember to include your al and then your sport, whatever your sport happened to be. That can change. Or if you did not play anything, you would want to say no. Yo no jugué nada. I didn't play anything. Or no jugué a ningún deporte. No jugué nada. Whatever. If you have extra time in class, work on these activities. You're going to follow this link. Excuse me again. You're going to follow this link. It'll take you to Conjuguemos. And you're going to want to make sure that your tenses are just preterite. You're just practicing your preterite endings right now. Use all the verbs and all the pronouns if you would like to do all but vosotros. That's okay. All the pronouns is fine. And then make sure your timer is off. You don't want to have a timer. You just want to practice until the end of class. Okay? So I'm going to show you how that works. Actually, I'm not going to because this is an ed puzzle, so never mind. So yeah, do you have extra time? On your worksheet, do this stuff. Have a fantastic time. And remember, haste o amos hastes aron. And you have 3 special endings. Have a fantastic time.